How to turn a tax refund into a real estate empire. Oh yeah, baby, it's tax season. And if you get a refund, I'm gonna tell you exactly what to do with it so that you can have a real estate empire just like me. Let's go.
Noel. Yeah, she can fix that. If you gotta get it done, no, you need to do it better. Well, she can fix that. Yeah, she can fix that. Investment to get back, trying to get a big stack. She can fix that. Let's fix that.
I'm going to share with you a simple 3-step process to get your first home in 90 days or less. I'm going to give you a detailed explanation of the entire process so that you understand everything, even things most people do not understand. And I'm going to share with you my biggest insider secret to getting a profitable property. So there are so many benefits to being a real estate investor, and many people really do not know that there are so many benefits. But this is really how I became a millionaire in real estate. So many of you guys know I started in my parents' basement. I was broke. I had bad credit. I had multiple foreclosures and we were bankrupt. And I took that situation and turned it into a multi-million-dollar empire today. And I literally took money. It was actually a refund from school to become the person that I am today. So if you have a tax refund, baby, I'm going to really tell you how you can make this happen. Because as a real estate investor, I now have properties that I could borrow against if I needed to. I have cash flow from my rental properties. I have the appreciation of the properties going up in value just as time. And now I'm able to buy other businesses and other properties just because I have experience as a real estate investor. So once you get in this and you get started, there's so many benefits and you can really take it to the next level and have an empire really quickly. So let's get into that part. Like I said, I started from my parents' basement. I literally was broke in my parents' basement. We had multiple foreclosures. I was bankrupt. We had lost our jobs. We were starting from zero. In fact, I would say we were in the negative because I really had some terrible credit to go along with all of this. And so it was in that situation that I realized I needed to change my life. I had already tried to flip houses and I didn't know what I was doing. And so we lost everything. So now here I am back in my parents' basement in Bloomfield, Connecticut, wondering how did I end up here? And so it was really in that time that I had to start looking at myself. So I ended up getting a real estate coach that taught me wholesaling. And this is where life changed for me. He taught me how with my bad credit and my little money, I could turn that into a real estate empire because I could buy houses with no money and no cash. How do you do that, you say? Well, it's pretty easy with a concept that I call problem solver concept. So when you are starting with little money, you really need to be a problem solver. You have to find people that are having a property problem, someone that's behind on their mortgage payment, going through a divorce, inherited a house they don't want, or the house is falling apart and they can no longer afford it, or maybe they got relocated. Again, I could tell you a ton of different reasons why people have property problems. And these are the perfect opportunities for you to get houses for your real estate empire for just a little bit of money. So let me give you a quick example. Like I said, my coach taught me that I could help people avoid foreclosure by using this concept called wholesaling. And since I had been through foreclosure, I knew it was terrible. So what he told me to do is start sending letters, putting out signs, and marketing to people that were in the same situation that I had been in. Ask people if they are behind on their mortgage payments, if they would like some help. So again, I'll put out ads. Hey, are you behind on your mortgage payments? Hey, are you facing foreclosure? Hey, are you about to lose your house? You get what I'm saying? Put out signs, ads, letters, all of these things. And then my phone started ringing with different people that were currently in the foreclosure process. I had to get them before they actually got foreclosed on and got kicked out of the house so that we could acquire those properties. So when my phone starts ringing with all these people that are behind on their mortgage payments, all I needed to do was explain to them how they could avoid foreclosure by working with my network of real estate investors. And again, super easy. He gave me a script, hi, my name is Noel with ABC Properties. I see that you have a property that's behind on the payments or you called about blah, blah, blah. And they would start telling me their stories. They would tell me how they got behind on their payment, what happened. And they saw me as a solution to their problem. I became a solution to their problem. So the first step to all of this is start being a problem solver. How can you help people with their current property problem? Because this is an easy way to start building your empire. Let me keep going. So step 1, start finding people with property problems. This is easy. We call this marketing. You have to market. You have to put ads out. You have to put signs out. You have to send letters, send out marketing materials, asking people, are they behind on their mortgage? Or did they inherit a house they don't want? Or are they facing eviction? Or are they a landlord and their tenant isn't paying? Again, what situation do people have that you can send marketing out to where you are offering a solution to their problem? It was mind-blowing when I realized how easy it was to do this and how many phone calls I could get just by asking people, hey, are you having a problem? Well, I'm your solution. So step one, marketing. Let's get to step two. So the second step is going to be picking a niche. So obviously, I'm telling you, you want to market, but I also didn't tell you who to market to. This is for you to decide. Like I said, Noelle had faced foreclosures, multiple foreclosures, had went through bankruptcy and was in her parents' basement. So it was pretty easy for me to explain to people what happens when you go through a foreclosure and how I could help. It was super easy. I was able to relate to what they were going to. I knew about foreclosures. I knew how the process worked and how quickly you could lose your home. And so I started reaching out to people when they were 2 or 3 months behind on their payments and started saying, hey, are you past due on your mortgage and you don't want to get foreclosed on? These people were super easy because they would say, yes, I'm behind on my mortgage payments. I'm about to get foreclosed on anyway, meaning the bank is taking the house back and kicking me out. So they knew they had to leave the property. So it was a really easy sell to say, hey, I have this investor over here that would love to make your property into a rental property. Would you be interested? And I got paid $5, $10, up to $50,000 sometimes for connecting these people. Like I said, sometimes it was $5,000. It was mostly $5,000, just being honest with you, because that was just what he taught me, that I should charge $5,000. And so for like the first 2 years, that's all I ever really charged because that was just the number that I had. But as I got more comfortable and really started learning it, I realized there is so much more opportunity than just $5,000. But again, be a solution to their problem. But again, pick a niche. Are you going after people in foreclosure? Are you going after inherited homes? Are you going after probate? Are you going after divorce? Are you going after people in bankruptcy? Are you going after, again, I could go on and on and on. Pick your niche. Which type of people are you going to help? Step number 3, and this is so easy, and this is just go for it. Again, I am telling you how to turn your tax refund into a real estate empire. So, like I said, I would have people that were behind on their mortgage payments. So just using it as an example, say their mortgage was $1,500 a month and they were past due by 3 months. So that was $4,500. But there's also fees that the bank has charged and late fees and all of these other things. So sometimes they owed about $5,600, $5,700, just using that example, in order to stop the foreclosure and let us take over the payments. So essentially for $5,700, we were able to acquire properties. And I have acquired properties for that amount of money because all I did was purchase the home subject to, meaning I buy the home subject to the existing financing staying in place, subject to the existing mortgage staying in place. So I'm just taking over your mortgage payment. You sell me the house, it's mine. I'm on the deed, it's my house. You keep that note and I'll make those payments and we create a separate agreement. Now, again, I know that part I said sounded a little bit confusing. It's super simple. And I've made an entire video teaching you all about subject to. I'll put a link here somewhere, and make sure you watch that entire video. This is super easy and it's a great way to build your empire. It's called subject to. If you don't want to do that and you actually are in a situation where you could get a mortgage, you could just buy that home. Now remember, they're past due on the mortgage. They're about to get foreclosed on. They're probably really willing to sell that house immediately for whatever they can get it for. So if you want to get a conventional mortgage or an FHA mortgage, you only have to put down 3 or 3.5%. So that's not very much money. And in many cases, your tax refund will cover it. So I have created an entire training that teaches you all about how to get real estate with little to no money. It was a little bit too long to put up here, but it's an entire training that I made absolutely free that you can go get. That's Noelle's free training. Noelle, Noelles, Noelle's free, Free training, TRAINING, noellsfreetraining.com. Go to that website, check out that entire training, have your pen and your paper ready because I am going to teach you the entire process on how to do this. I just want to make sure you have all of the tools, all of the knowledge, and all of the resources that you need to be successful. This is Noelle. To your success.